Hello everyone, welcome to my live Forever in Motion class. My name is Kereen. I am a recreation therapist with the Community Older Adult team and I will be leading your class for you today. What you're going to need for today's class, the usual what I get you to grab plus one more thing. So a sturdy chair, your tubing or TheraBand, good pair of running shoes, your water bottle, and today for this class, a straight piece of board or a broomstick or something like that. If you don't have it like right now, then don't worry about it. If you've got one handy within like not too hard to grab, then go grab it. But otherwise it'll just be a way of you checking your posture another time when you're doing the exercise. So totally fine if you don't have it for this class, like right now live, but you can grab it and use it another time down the road. All right, starting off with a march. Posture, you want those shoulders back and down. Your core is engaged, so you're bracing your stomach nice and tight. So someone's gonna give you a nice playful punch in the stomach, and you're either standing up nice and tall or sitting up nice and tall. Most of the exercises can be done either standing or seated. If it's too much of a If it's much different than what the standing version is, I'll show you what the alternative is for seated. Remember, always working at your own pace. If at any point you're feeling pain, discomfort, or like you're overexerting yourself, make sure that you stop, slow down, or adapt whatever you're doing. We always want it to be a safe class. So that chair is there not only for the seated version of the exercises, it's also there in case you need to grab onto it for balance. So a few different options. You can have both hands on it if need be, or fingertips, or one hand, or your hands just kind of hovering above. Chairs there just in case you lose your balance and need to grab on, or at least if it's within hand's reach. All right. So I am just going to move that to the side so you can see what I'm doing with my feet, but we do encourage you to have that chair in front of you so it's there if you need it. All right, so we've been going just our regular march for a while. I am going to just take a peek here. Okay, making sure everything's working. And so what I'll get you to do now is take the legs wide. We'll go into a wide march. Also, I didn't mention the water bottle other than to have one. Feel free to grab a drink of water anytime you need. You don't need to wait for me to tell you it's time for a drink of water. All right, and so we've done some narrow, some wide. How about we do a little bit of wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Get those arms moving with it nice and big. We want to warm up upper body and lower body all the time when we're doing our workouts. And I am, or have been, starting with my left leg. So when you are doing an exercise and you start with one leg and then follow with the other, you want to, at some point, switch which leg you are starting with, just because there's a little different impact with your starting leg than the one that's the following one. So you want to make sure you're working out balance. So part of that is starting with a different leg. So I am going to tap down with that last leg in with the following leg, and then take that one out as the starting leg. And keep going with that for a little bit here. Again, going at whatever pace works for you. We're still just warming up, so don't worry about going too fast quite yet. Always working at your own pace, listening to your body, do what works for you. And 4, 3, 2, last one, and just sticking with the regular march there. And let's just take that to a heel dig. So I'm going to start off with my left leg. So heel dig, heel down, toe pointing up, We'll just do a regular bicep curl with that. How about both arms at the same time? We'll start with that. And let's switch it up. Let's do single arm, single leg. And let's do same arm, same leg. Of course, you're going to do single leg. You don't want to take both heels out front at the same time, right? Yeah, that was a skill testing question. Okay, and switching it up a little bit again, we're going to take it to opposite arm, opposite leg. So let's switch that up. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Four, 3, 2, last one, and back to a regular march. Okay, next up, I'd like to do some tapping to the front. Actually, we'll do tap to the front and we'll do tap to the side. If we feel like it, we'll do tap to the back too. We'll see. See how I'm feeling when the time comes. So let's just start out with a tap to the front. Swinging those arms nice and big. Four, 3, 2, last one. And let's start taking the leg out to the side. The arms, let's do a low swing to start. We're going out to the same side as the leg that's tapping. And how about, let's switch that up a little bit. Let's take it to opposite side of the legs. So there, and let's take the arms up and we're going to swing across chest level. And 4, 3, 2, last one, and just back to a march. And let's see, oh, what the heck, let's add in that back one. So we'll tap to the back starting with our left leg. So tapping back. Don't worry about taking that leg too far back. Just a nice comfortable tap behind you with your toe. And let's just press back with the arms. Keeping those shoulders back and down. And 4, 3, 2, last one, and just back to regular march. And I'm always telling you to grab a drink of water when you need, but yet I'm going thirsty here, so I am going to go grab a drink of water. Feel free to keep going with that march, or to grab a drink of water as well. Lunch must have been a little extra salty today, so needing that more drinks. Thirsty sooner. Okay, start out again with that march here. And actually what I'd like to go into now is a side step we're gonna do, you know what, let's just start out with a single side step. So it's just stepping to the side and stepping together. Simple enough, right? Okay, we're gonna take that to 2 steps to the side. So step together, step together. I'm gonna try and stay in frame here so you can see what I'm doing, because I'm gonna add on to this in a little bit. So keeping those legs going with just a simple step together, step together. All right, and now this time when we're taking it back, we're gonna step together, step kind of together, and let's add in a squat. Keep those knees back behind your toes. Sit back as though you're gonna sit into a chair, and then pressing down through your feet, squeezing your butt muscles together as you're standing up. Take it back, bring it back up. All right, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So step together, step, and then kind of a smaller step together. Let's go back into a squat and back up. Keep your legs, you can keep those feet planted as far apart as you need for that squat. Whatever works for you. Just trying to add a little bit of variety in here for you. And in the process, trying to dodge my chair and stay in frame. So much to think about. How about we do one more each side, each way. Squeeze as you're coming back up. So step together, and squeezing as you're pressing back up. Shake that out a little bit. Bring your legs in a little closer together, and I want you to, we're gonna stand single-legged for 5 seconds. Shift your weight to one leg, and lift up the other one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put that leg back down. Remember that chair is there for whatever level of support you need. And you're shifting your weight to your other leg, lifting up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go. Feel free to put that leg down anytime in between, whenever you need. All right, and we're just going to take that back to a regular march. We're going to do our second round now. All right, so going straight into that wide, wide, narrow, narrow. So wide, wide, narrow, narrow. How about we take this to, okay, you got those legs down packed. Remember, slow it down whatever level you need. My legs are starting to go as fast as my talking. So let's add in bow and arrow arm. A little bit more confusing because the arms and legs are doing different things. Feel free to just stick with the legs or to do different arms if you need. But I do encourage you to try it. It is tough. And when it ends up getting a little bit easier for you, then you know that you've created some of those new neuronal pathways which are so important for our brain health. Okay, I'm gonna go for, how about 2 more on each side. And last one. And there we go. All right, so actually I was just starting with my left leg, right? So now I need to start with my right leg, taking it out wide, wide, narrow, narrow. So taking that right leg out. Now I have to dream up something else to do with the arms. Let's see. I want to make it a challenge. Or not. I've got a few other combinations in mind, so I don't want to use up the arms from those other combinations that I had wanted to do. All right, let's just do, how about a regular bicep curl? And I don't think I've ever done like a single bicep curl to this. So let's go single. So, ooh, that's tough. Does make you think a little bit more. Just depends how you're moving those arms in combination with the legs. You can make it as tough or as easy as you want. 4, 3, 2, last one. And I think I switched back somehow in there, back to leading with my left leg, but oh well. All right, going back to the heel dig. So with the heel dig this time, and make sure you're maintaining that posture again, like shoulders back and down, keeping yourself either standing up nice and tall or sitting up nice and tall. And with the heel dig this time, we're going to cross that midline, because anything that we're doing that we're crossing that midline is also great for brain health. We do try to include as much information and activities in our workouts for brain health as we can. And how about we do this? So just a heel dig across that midline in front of you. Remember that chair is there for whatever level of support you need. Let's keep the legs crossing over. Let's switch the arms to pressing back. And let's keep the arms pressing back, and let's switch up the legs to a, that's tough again. Oh my gosh, doing something that I haven't done before. 1, 2, 3, tap, 1, 2, 3, tap, 1, 2, 3, tap, 1, 2, 3, tap. Keep the arms, I'm gonna try to keep the arms going at a different pace than my legs, which is also another brain challenge. There are so many different ways to bump up the challenge when you're doing these exercises and the arm and leg combinations. My biggest mistake is doing them all live, coming up with the ideas and doing them live, so I haven't had a chance to practice, so I don't know how the heck they're gonna work out for me, but oh well, that's part of the fun. How about, let's take the legs out to the side. That's a tougher one with the arms going front and back. We're doing a 1, 2, 3 and tapping to the side now instead of to the front. How about last 4, 3, 2, last 1, and just back to a regular march. All right, that was different. I'm not sure what I think of that one, but it was different, and it's good to do things that are different and challenging. All right, going back to that double side step with a squat. So we're gonna go step, together, step. You know what, let's not even do the together. We'll just do a squat there, that might be easier. And then pressing it back up And bring the legs together, step, and yeah, we'll see. Step together. I like it a little bit with the legs wider. Do what works for you. Yeah, I like this way better. So when you are doing an exercise, also, you are not stuck to doing it that same way. Adapt it for what works for you. If you like it better the way that we were doing when we started out, go for it. Go back to that. How about one more each side? You're keeping those knees back, behind your toes. You're sitting back as though you're going to sit down, and then you change your mind, you stand back up. Okay, let's bring those legs back together again. Going onto the one leg, so shift all your weight onto one leg. Chair's there for support if you need it. Lift up the other leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put that leg down, shake it out a little bit. Shifting your weight to that leg, the second leg. And lift up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down, shake that out. Grab a drink of water. All right. And for the last round, let's see, what time are we at? We're doing okay. We are going to go into a V step. So just in the shape of a V. If you've followed our classes, you've probably seen the V step many times. I won't say a million times, but many times. Okay, so I'm going to start with my left leg. So stepping wide to the front and then narrow to the back again. Just as though there was a V on the floor, you're stepping in that shape. Okay, if you are comfortable with the legs, let's start the arms in when the legs are in and take it out when the legs go out. Notice we are starting on the one leg the whole time. So we do want to switch. And let's do that back here. So when we bring that second leg back, kind of tap down there and let's take it out. So it's our right leg starting this time. If you started out with your right leg, just switch to the left leg. Does not really matter in the whole scheme of things, as long as you switch which leg you're starting with. All right. So get those legs going, get comfortable with that, and then if you like, you can add in the arms. So we started out with arms in at the back. Let's start out with the arms out. You know what, here's a different one. So how about we start with one arm in. I'm gonna switch which one's in. Okay, one arm in is one and one is out. So we're starting with our right leg and then it's gonna do the opposite. This I haven't tried before either. Not bad. I can do that. I better not brag though, because then I'll mess up. How are you doing with that? Does make you think a little bit. Okay, and let's just take this back to a regular march. I think it's getting close to that time where I better keep moving if I want to fit everything in. All right, so taking it to a heel dig again. So a heel dig, we'll do a heel dig. We'll reach across a little bit farther this time. Whatever works for you. Kind of do like maybe a little bit of a bending that other leg. reach across. And with our arms, let's do a reach and pull. So the arms are extended out in front of you. Go into that, squeezing the shoulder blades together as you are pulling back. And 4, 3, 2, last one. All right, make sure you're relaxing the shoulders when you're doing that. Give a nice little shoulder roll there. All right, so we did the 1, 2, 3. So let's go back to the 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, and we are going to, we did the front and side. So for this one, let's do 1, 2, 3, and we'll put the front and side taps together. So 1, 2, 3, tap to the front and side. Bring it in. 1, 1, 2, 3, front, side. 1, 2, 3, front, side. 1, 2, 3, front, side. Keep going with that. You got that stuck in your head? Get comfortable with that. You know I'm going to throw something else in there. Get those legs going. I don't know if I'm ready to add in what I want to add in, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to add in diamond arms with this. So, oh man, I'm really going to be challenging my brain on this. So 1, 2, 3, front, side. It is tough. Whoop. Let's do a few more of these. How about 2 more each side? Last one each side. All right, and regular march. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Time is flying. All right, so I'm going to kind of weasel my way over to the side here. We'll do some more of those side step lunges. So step together, step, or not lunge, sorry, squat. And then step together, step, squat. For ease of space and steps, I'm just going to go with this one. I like this one better. Again, making sure that you are keeping those knees back, your chest is up. Sitting back as though you're going to sit down on a chair, and then you change your mind and you stand back up. You're pressing down through that whole foot, squeezing those butt muscles together as you're standing up. And let's do 1 more each side. Yeah, that'll work. I was trying to think which side I started with. I started with this one. So 1 more over here. There we go. And bring those legs in closer together. We're going to take it back to that single leg stand for balance. Shifting your weight to the one leg. Get comfortable with that. And then we're going to lift the other leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that down, shake it out. Shift your weight to that second leg. And you're comfortable with that. Remember, chair's there if you need it. Lift your other leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. and shake that out. All right, and I think it's time for another drink of water. It is getting warm in here, so I'm going to switch on my fan as well. All right, starting off, before you grab your band in your chair, let's do some posture exercises. So when we started out, I mentioned standing up nice and tall, shoulders back and down, core engaged. So I want you in that same posture. Remember your ABCs of posture. You've probably heard that a million times too. A is your abs, B is your butt, so your butt's kind of tucked. And C is your chest, so keeping your chest up as though you are showing off a nice new bow tie or new necklace. And your chin, you want to tuck that chin. So there's your posture, your ABCs of posture. And a couple posture exercises that I want to throw in here are the shoulder retractions. So just kind of take those shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades back and down. Hold that for, let's do a couple more seconds. And then we'll release, shake that out a little bit. Taking those shoulder blades back and down again, down and together. So you're tucking them into your back pockets. Now this time with it, take your chin back, the back of your head to the wall that's behind you. You're not tilting the head up, you're just taking the head back. And you should feel a nice little stretch, a little bit of tension on the back of your head, kind of the base of where your head meets your neck. Hold that for a little bit longer, and we'll just release that, shake it out a little bit. So maintaining that nice chin tuck as much as possible. Do that chin tuck every once in a while throughout your day, kind of like a posture check. Do that chin tuck check. That's hard to say. Say that 10 times really fast. Okay, next one up is a rotator cuff one. So hold your hands out in front of you with your arms parallel to your forearm, parallel to the floor, as though you have a tray of cookies on each hand. And you don't want to dump those cookies, so if you have your arms down, those cookies are going to drop on the floor. If you have your arms up too much, the cookies are going to dump on your lap, which may or may not be a bad thing if you like those cookies. But for the sake of the exercise, we want to keep our arms parallel to the floor, or horizontal, perfectly horizontal. And take those arms out to the side. Keep your elbows tucked into your sides as much as you can. Kind of squeeze those shoulder blades together. See, I'm trying to keep those arms parallel to the floor again. Okay, hold that for a bit and bring that back in. And take that back out. Remember, you are not holding your breath through this at all. As far as legs, whatever's comfortable. If you want to challenge your balance a little bit more while you're doing this, bring the legs in closer, narrowing your base of support, or you could even, if you really wanted, go for like a spread stance, that kind of thing. Okay, you're still squeezing those shoulder blades together. Still have those cookies on your cookie trays, and bring back in. All right, shake that up. Now, let's get into a back exercise. So, you'll need your chair and your band. We are going to start off with a paddler's row. So sitting up nice and tall towards the front of your chair, and put that band around under your feet, under your shoes, and you're sitting up nice and tall, core is engaged. Point your toes a little bit so that band can't roll up and smack you in the face. And you're starting out in the position as though we're going to do a back row, but we aren't doing the back row. That same position, maybe give yourself a little bit less resistance on the band, because we're going to take a breath in, keep the arms straight this time. Take a breath in and exhale as you are pulling up to as far as your body and then pressing back as far as you can. And then release. So we're going the same speed, both directions. Luckily that stayed under my feet. Same speed, both directions. We want to work our muscles in both directions. Inhale Exhale. Nice, slow and controlled. You are sitting up nice and tall, so the eyes are out on the horizon. Think about that chin tuck. Keeping those shoulders back and down so they're relaxed, they're not up by your ears. How about we do, you thought I was going to say 2 more, let's do 3 more. But that one was one of the 3, so now 2 more. And last one. All right. Next up for our chest exercise, what I would like to do is I might have to move my chair up a little bit here so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm wrapping my band around the back and we're going to do a chest press. So I'm wrapping it behind my chair just for a little bit more resistance. You don't need to. I'm going to grab onto this, how it feels more comfortable. Feel free to do the same. And I'm hoping it's not going to smack up and roll up and smack me in the back of the face. Maybe, yeah, I'm going to try and keep my arms a little bit more relaxed. Maybe have my elbows down a little bit more than what I would normally. And take a breath in. Exhale as you're pressing out. Inhale as you're releasing, bringing those arms back. I am going to try to bring myself a little bit more forward. I think I have to put my feet on the front of the legs of my chair so I don't slide back. That would kind of defeat the purpose of wanting to do this in the chair for the extra resistance. Another thing that you could do if you want the extra resistance and don't want to have it wrapped around the back of the chair, you could double up your band. Or just simply give yourself more resistance to start with by pulling it tighter behind you, having your hands closer together on the band. So core is still engaged throughout. And as always, you should try to have your have your core engaged through as much of your day as possible. We'll do 2 more. And last one. So thinking about squeezing those chest muscles together as you're bringing those hands together. And drop the shoulders. All right, I am going to switch to standing. If you are doing the exercises seated, feel free to continue sitting. So for this one, it is a little bit different. I haven't done this one in one of my classes before on here. So we're starting out with our arms extended to the front, and you might want to adjust as we go. We'll see how much room you want between. I've got about 4 to 6 inches between the band, between my hands on the band. Okay, so standing with your feet about shoulder width apart, core is engaged, you're standing up nice and tall or sitting up nice and tall, and I'm taking that into a into a bow and arrow. So as though I'm going to be pulling back on that bow. Kind of keep those hips square to the front. You can adjust the tension by how close or far your hands are from each other. Or if you have a really light band, feel free to double it up. Make sure your shoulders are staying relaxed. They're not up by your ears. Feel free to narrow your base of support. If you want to challenge your balance a little bit more while you're doing this, narrowing your base of support will make your body, your core, have to work harder to stabilize. And how about 2 more each side? And last one each side. There we go. Shake that out. And just because I want to, I'm going to go for another drink of water. Make sure that if I'm doing more repetitions than what work for you, feel free to stop at any time. All right. So when you're doing the repetitions, if you've been doing the classes for any length of time, you should know that you want the last 2 repetitions to be tough. So if when you're doing any of the exercises, if we get to like 6, 7, and that's tough, then that's enough. When you start losing your form, then you don't want to go any farther than that. It's more beneficial and better for you to do fewer repetitions in the proper form than to do more with not such good form, because then you're not getting as much out of the exercise and you're also more likely to injure yourself. So listen to your body another time too there, not just when you're doing your cardio, but when you're doing the strength training. All right, next up is a lateral raise. We want to work the shoulders here again. We kind of did on that last one, shoulders and back, but now we're going to do the lateral raise for our shoulders. So arms are out to the side, palms are facing forward. Take a breath in and exhale as you're lifting up to, and again, this depends on your band, but don't lift any higher than your shoulders. So I would say as high as you can comfortably, but no higher than your shoulders. Depending on the band, if this is only as high as you can go, that's totally fine. We don't want you straining or hurting yourself trying to lift higher. Or you could also just step on it with one foot, again, depending on the bend, and if you want to lighten up a little bit on that resistance. Or one arm at a time. I haven't done that for a while. How about we do some of the one arm at a time reciprocal? One arm coming down at the same time as the other one is going up. I'm going to tighten up a little bit on my resistance here. So again, because you're doing something different on each side, your body is having to work harder to stabilize, to compensate for that difference. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, give it a shake. Keeping in that position, keep the band under your feet. Let's turn the palms back this time. Let's do a reverse bicep curl. So standing up nice and tall or sitting up nice and tall. Palms are facing back to the wall behind you. Take a breath in and exhale as you're lifting those arms up. Inhale as you release. This ensures that the oxygen that you're inhaling has enough time to get to those muscles when you want to make them work to do the exercise. And this exercise in particular, when you're doing the reverse bicep curl, is working your forearms a little bit more so than a regular bicep curl does, or a hammer hold. And those are good things. Like this one is a good exercise for helping you to open jars or with the motion of turning a doorknob. So it's really good to do a good variety of exercises so that it can help you with all the different activities that a person needs to do throughout their day or days. And let's do one more. All right, so stepping off of that, let's go into our tricep. What do I want to do for my tricep today? So take it in your right hand, throw it over your left shoulder, and lots of times I have my elbow up. This time, you know what, I have done to the front. So your hands are about 4 to 6 inches apart. Keep your right hand right where it is on your shoulder there. That does not move. Take a breath in, and we are going to extend that left arm straight out to the front, and then bring it back in. And when you start losing resistance in there, like don't come all the way back so there's like nothing, so you've got slack in between. As soon as you start losing that resistance, take the arm back out. This is another one where you can increase the challenge by doubling up the band. It's a great one for that. Another one where you can challenge yourself a little bit more by changing your base of support. Nice, slow and controlled. Don't let the resistance of the band bring your arm back any faster than what you're taking it out. We want to work our muscles both directions. And 2 more. And last one. And shake that out a little bit. Switching it up, holding it this time in your, oh my, time is flying. In your left hand, grab your arm with a little bit down, 4 to 6 inches down with your right hand, and take a breath in and exhale as you're taking it straight out. Inhale as you release. So I'm really going to have to change some of what I wanted to do with you today. What do I want to do? Okay, so since I told you to grab a stick for today, I kind of have to do that one. So we'll do that one. We'll do a core one next, and then we'll do the one with the stick. So I'm going to keep you in suspense a little longer. And we'll go 2 more, and last one. All right, shake that out. I believe we're done with the bend, but I'm just going to set it on the back of my chair just in case I change my mind. So core exercise, and again, for sake of time, I'm just going to do our regular seated crunch. So sitting up nice and tall towards the front of your chair, leaning back as far as you can without touching the back of the chair. Your eyes are on the horizon, so you're kind of tucking that chin as you go back, and then bring back up. Hands can either be on your thighs or across your chest or back by your ears. Those are the different options. They are there as options for you to do whatever works for you. Even if you want to switch and do some of each way, it doesn't mean that just because you start with one option that you need to stick with that through the whole thing. Feel free to mix it up. If you have your hands behind your head, you're not pulling on your head. And how about we do 2 more? And last one. All right. If you have your stick, grab your stick. So what I wanted to do with the stick, what I have today is just a nice board that I found. I saved it from one of our projects. So this is about the length that you would need, I don't know, 3 feet-ish. Yeah, something like that. Depending on how long your body is. Because what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do for our posture check. I want you to take it behind you, and the back of my head is against the board. My upper back is against the board, and my sacrum, my butt, is against the board. So what I'm going to do, you don't want it too far down because I'm actually going to sit down. I might have to turn my chair a little bit. I want to sit down. So good posture, you should be able to have those 3 points against that stick. Make sure the stick is sturdy enough that you're not able to cheat and bend it. Okay, so I am going to Make sure my feet are back by my chair so I know where my chair is. I'm going to sit back and down onto that chair, making sure I'm keeping all those points. Okay, so now I see where I can adjust it so I can sit down and keep that board there. Making sure that you're sitting down, keeping all those points on each time. So leaning forward to stand up, I'm keeping all those points on the board. And I'm gonna sit down one more time, nice slow. I know that chair is still there because I can feel it against the back of my heels. Sitting down nice and slow. So a really nice posture check. Okay, and sitting up one more time. Even if you're not gonna do this to stand, but that, or even if you're doing like a squat, it is a really good self-awareness kind of thing. Great posture check. So feel free to do that every once in a while, even if it's not part of your regular exercise routine. Okay, what else do I want to do? You know what, I'm going to actually sneak in one more with the band. I would like to do our hip abduction, taking the legs apart, hip abduction in seated version today with a band. So I'm going to wrap that band around closer to my knees and take the leg out and then back in. Make sure you are keeping the knee above your foot, like lead with your knee, not with your foot. Think about it that way. Because if I'm leading with my foot, I might be tempted to keep that knee in rather than taking it out the same amount. So just think about taking your knee out, your leg out, your upper leg, rather than your foot. Kind of like the reverse thigh master. Can I say that on here? Too late, I just did. And how about 2 more each side? I can really feel this, more so than when okay, this is the last one each side, more so than when I do it standing. So again, just because you can do the exercises one way, or prefer doing them one way, it is a really good thing to switch them up because then you're working your muscles differently. Okay, are we for time? Yikes. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go straight into that, up onto your toes and then up onto your heels, toe heel raise, just to kind of save a little bit of time here so we've got enough time to do a good stretch. And I will save some of my other ideas for my next class. When you're going up onto your toes, think about going up onto the balls of your toes rather than having your feet curl out. And the more you slow it down, the more it is going to challenge your balance. Make sure the chair or wall are there if you need, or that you are totally comfortable with stepping back if you need. Totally fine, because that shows that you're challenging yourself. You need to be challenging yourself to see any improvements. Okay, shaking that out. I think it is time to go into our stretching. So, starting off, sitting at the front of your chair, sitting up nice and tall. Let's go into that hamstring stretch. So sit up nice and tall, one leg extended, heel down, toe pointing up, slight bend to your knee, and we're going to pivot forward at the hips, head, neck, spine in good alignment. Ooh, this would be another, I'm gonna grab my stick. Another good time to check my posture. Kind of like those photo op opportunities, this is a posture check opportunity. So you might think you're doing something one way, but when you actually test it or look at yourself in the mirror, you see that you're doing different. Okay, so in this position, get my hair caught on there, bring your toe up more towards your shin, and that will move the stretch from your hamstring down to your calf. If you're leaning on a leg for support, it is that bent one. And so you should be looking at the floor about 3-4 feet ahead of you, keeping that head, neck, spine in alignment. Okay, shake that out, other leg out, Heel down, toe pointing up, pivoting forward at the hips. I'm going to grab my stick again. Very interesting. It is kind of an eye-opener to try that out. Pull the toe up more towards your shin. Feel the stretch going to your calf. When you're stretching, slight discomfort or a gentle pull is okay, but if you're actually feeling pain, then you've gone too far and you need to let up a bit. The other thing is to make sure you are not holding your breath during any of your stretching, during any of your exercises. All right, and let's see, which one do I want to do? This one. Our hip flexor quad stretch, sitting up nice and tall, one butt cheek on the chair, one off. This is where you want to feel the stretch. And if you want to feel that a little bit more, you can take that back, lean back just slightly. If you want to add in that arm to add some lengthening in there, feel free. And let's switch to the other side. Extend that leg back. Feel free to extend that arm up, that same arm. You don't want to arch your back, but you can lean back slightly, pressing that hip forward more. All right, and I'm actually going to skip one of my other ones, one of my favorites, because we're running out of time. I want to make sure we do some of the other ones. So, tricep stretch, reaching up and down between your shoulder blades. Gentle press on your elbow. Let me just take a peek up here. Gentle press on your elbow or in your triceps area, whatever works for you. This is where you want to feel the stretch. If you have shoulder issues and that doesn't feel so good, feel free to take it across to the other side. Shake that out. Let's take the other arm up and reach down between your shoulder blades. Again, gentle press on your elbow or your triceps area, or take the arm across to the other side. Bring that down. Spread your stance. You know what, let's just take one arm up to the side. Bring it across from underneath. Grab on, pull it in closer. Take the legs over to the side. So we are going to feel a nice stretch in our shoulder area. Throwing some hand circles there. Stretch in our shoulder area and in your adductor muscle. We did a lot of the crossing the midline with that heel dig in the first part of our workout. So kind of stretching out the adductor, the inside of your thigh. Okay, shake that out. Other arm out. Take it across, grab on, pull it in closer, legs to the other side. Throw in some hand circles there, both directions. All right, shaking that out. Take the arms out, press those shoulders back. Thumbs are up. Rotate them around again, press the shoulders back again. You can keep the shoulders pressed back and then rotate those hands up and back. Right, nice big shoulder rolls backwards. Keep your shoulders level. Take one ear down to your shoulder. Opposite arm is reaching for the floor. And the head back up to the center. Pause for a bit there. Take your other ear to the shoulder. Opposite arm reaching for the floor. And head back up to the center, finishing off with 3 deep cleansing breaths. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. So take a deep breath in and exhale. Deep breath in, keep your chest up. And exhale. One last time, deep breath in. Stretch it up and then exhale. And you can, I'm sure, give yourself a hand because I'm sure you did awesome. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the bottom of the post here or to call or email anytime. Totally fine. We love hearing back from you, hearing some feedback. So take care, everybody, and we will see you again next time. Bye-bye.